Hey, it's another Saturday night. Welcome to the GrimDark.
Oh, Moose Cam, Nick Cam, Moose
Now it's a
Cam,
Nick
Nick
Cam.
Cam.
How's everybody doing?
Hello.
We didn't play last week because I was a sickhead.
Still is.
Is everybody here? We've got a dead Cleo, so she's not with us tonight.
No.
Sock's gonna be late. He said. And we got everybody else here. What do y'all remember? What happened last time?
Cleo died, just chomped in half.
Somebody needs to cue up a obituary song chopped in half for that.
Yep. And also Grishnak totally stole her body like a fucking chump. So now we're gonna have to go like a bad dog, like you grab the dog when it pees in the house and you stick its face in the pee. We're gonna do that with him and Cleo's body, like stick his face in Cleo's body.
His face in Cleo's mutilated body.
Look at what you did, bad Grishnak, bad.
Yeah, so you had found
Brandon doesn't look very enthused by that prospect.
Who?
Brandon.
Oh.
I'll let you handle that one.
So he had spoke with y'all at the inn, told you he could put her at a good resting place, but then when you went later to collect the body to head out of town to burn it, there was a note saying that, hey, look, sorry about this, but I've got it at my townhome. And that's kind of where we left off.
Castle Grishnak, yes.
And it's not at the castle. He's got a place in town.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you think he is? Some peasant king who only has a castle?
Yes.
He's got at least 2 or 3 condos. One's by the beach, or in this case, by the river, with all the severed hands.
Down by the river?
Well, I would still like to burn the body of our dear departed friend. Is everybody okay with going to retrieve the body?
Wait, so where are we at? I think
Y'all are still at the inn. Y'all had gone around to the ice house to check to get the body and found it missing. So y'all are still right in that same area.
Did we all go? Was it just Sock?
However y'all want to play that or say it happened.
I was AFK at the time, so.
I mean, I don't have a problem with going and picking up the body. I mean, I think we should see them into the see them buried or burned.
Isn't there something about like being eaten by giraffes or some bullshit?
It was lions.
It's a jungle.
Yeah, she wanted I think she wanted us to throw her body in the sewer and just let the rats eat it. We're gonna burn it though. We're gonna cook her first, and then we're gonna feed the rats.
Because you have to make sure the rats get the fine cooked food.
Exactly. We don't want these rats going around catching and spreading disease from Cleo's body.
This is what happens when everyone sits around batch crafting another character's background culture. We know nothing of Cleo's backstory, so his culture says.
Yeah. I think, didn't we ask Oren? Oren, did we ask you? Well, and did you tell us one of those things, or
one of what things?
About like what Cleo? Because I think that was like a whole thing. We asked, or
yes, and I told you what I told you, and then we spent the next 20 minutes talking about lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my!
Oh, there's bears now. Probably going to be the easiest part to find.
We were just gonna give her a cremation, and then
Mhm.
I mean, if Grishnak has her, do you think maybe we, or him, sorry, we could just ask Grishnak to cremate the body for us? I mean, I guess that just saves us doing extra work, right?
I could just burn the place down.
That would be thorough.
Perhaps even more efficient. It would create a larger fire, a lot more heat.
And we wouldn't have to talk to Krishnak.
Wait, hang on. Am I even that intelligent? Where's my intelligence? Okay.
You are not intelligent, sir.
I just know that it's a big fire. I like the sound of a big fire.
We get paid. I did not get paid.
I believe we just distributed the money.
Yeah, I think I don't think
Yeah,
we
I believe
paid
y'all
you.
did.
Did we?
I see it's not in the party sheet. It's also not in my sheet.
Maybe they forgot to tell you about that, Reggie.
How much money do you have, Reggie? This is Nick.
I'm showing amongst all of you, you've got 484 gold total.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But we got...
Let's see.
What,
Moose has got
600 out of that box?
118, Max 31, Reggie 6, Sock 106, Oren 211 because I believe he was given.
So he was giving Cleo's portion. Yeah.
Cleo still has 12 gold on her body, on his body.
And Oren is Mr. Moneybags over there.
So I believe y'all had done the. We're supposed to divide it up amongst yourselves.
Oh, did we just delete it off the party sheet and everybody added it to their own?
Correct. Now, what portions y'all were sharing, that was amongst y'all.
Pretty sure, because I just
I think it was
back. It was 100.
Wasn't it an even 600? I think is what we found.
Yes, it was 600 gold.
We gave Oren Cleo's 100.
Yep. I will mug you for your portion if you want to make the math easier for you, Reggie.
I can add a couple zeros. It's fine.
Are you sure? I wouldn't mind mugging you. That'd be fun.
I can show you how to do it. Even Moose, you draw circles and then a line at the end, and then you've got 100. Please don't punch me.
I roll.
Punch him. for nothing else other than he asked you not to.
It's a good thing that this is all a joke, because goddamn, did I just burn that one? No, I'm not going to steal from you, Reggie. I'm going to do something even worse to you. I'm going to make you give it over to me willingly.
Gonna kiss you on the lips.
Oh, not at this time. You haven't done anything to upset me right now.
Oh.
Yeah. You're in. Oh,
there's my wallet. Okay, I'm better now. I am a little concerned about burning down the house of this fairly influential person of the town. Plan. Is it just me?
What concerns you? It's a big fire. I don't think there's anything more complicated than that. Are you concerned that there won't be enough fire?
I'm concerned that the individual might be a little more complicated than that. I mean, you saw the...
Are you insinuating that he wouldn't also burn?
No, I'm
pretty sure Cleo's dead body will burn just fine.
I thought we were just going to burn Cleo. Are we talking about a little bit of arson?
Larceny? Yeah.
I think
it's Virgo arsony, by the way.
Yes.
I think the term is
Maxilius absolutely corrects you on that too.
I understand.
I'm the word I'm looking for is regicide, but I didn't roll high enough, so I just sit there stammering for like 10 seconds. Edge, Sid,
We're gonna commit Regis Philbin.
Edge, Regis Fillmore. That's what we're gonna commit. Something Regis. I don't remember. It involves killing a king.
Oh shit, he's a king?
I mean, he's a king here.
Technically a count.
All right. Well, whatever the word is for killing a count. I don't think that perhaps maybe we shouldn't do that without provocation. However, I would not be against challenging him to an honorable duel, seeing as he broke his honor with us by stealing the body of our dear friend.
I mean, he did leave a note.
Oh,
Yeah, but
well, since he left a note,
yeah.
all is forgiven, right?
Wait,
whenever
hang on.
I took the
steal
body of your
something,
dead friend, but by the way, here it is.
Yeah, I'm sure all those people
Oh,
you
crap.
beat up and mug in the streets, as long as you leave them a note saying that I took your money, that it's water under the bridge.
You're very
Yeah.
insightful for
said-
whatever you're trying to incite, Moose.
Okay, I was trying to incite whether or not he's being whether or not I understood he was being sarcastic.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Moose is like, I'm gonna go beat up some people and leave a note.
I'm thinking,
Look-
everything's okay as long as you leave a note. That's good to know.
I'm gonna grab the note from Sock really quick. I mean, he says where the body is, and he told us why he moved it. So, I mean, it's not like it didn't say, "Ha, I've got your body now," in as many words.
Well, why don't we go? I know this is
Just
going
go
to sound.
ask for it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know this is going to sound very strange coming from me, seeing as that's not my normal mode of communication.
Communicating at all?
That's a big word. That's not how I speak. That's not normally how I speak. But perhaps
Do the talking.
perhaps we could just simply ask for the body back. Is there an address? Does it say where the body is
I was assuming we just asked
on the
for
note?
somebody to point us towards his house.
I mean, well, okay.
He had the note had left like an address where it would be, so it's not like he's
Yeah.
trying to hide.
Yeah, there's a map crudely drawn in
No, there's an
red ink.
address.
Did we go back to the inn, or are we at the place where the body was
No,
previously?
he had spoken to you at the end when he left. Y'all had the body in like an ice house.
Right. So are we at the ice house?
Somebody at some point, however y'all want to say it happened, went to retrieve the body and then found that the note instead. If you all went, that's up to y'all.
Okay. So do we all want to agree that
Play
we're
it how
just
you
in
want.
the inn?
Having discovered the body
Yeah.
larceny.
I think that we probably would have met back up at the. Well, no, I guess we all probably would have gone because we were probably going to get the body and then go to the place. So, what do you think? Are we all at the ice house? Is everyone
like we're
in
all
agreement
there.
on that? Okay. Who's the attendant here? Is there an owner or some person? Some other
For
person here?
the ice house or where?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a proprietor there.
I take the note from Reggie. Politely, Reginald, give me the note.
Yep.
And I walk over to the guy and I point at it and I say to him, show us how to get to this address.
Moose, you've got it backwards.
Hmm?
He's
Oh. I
let
turn
me
it
see."
around.
He
I turn around so the words are facing him, but then it's upside down.
yeah, he's like, if you let me see it, and he takes it and turns it the correct way up. He's like, well, not too hard to get to if you head down the main thoroughfare, and he gives you the lefts, rights, and everything, tells you how to get there. So you
Thank
should
you.
be able to. It's the largest estate home in the area, so it's not hard to miss.
Thank you. You've done your ancestors proud today, though not as proud as if you were a noble warrior or died in battle.
It kind of looks at the rest of you like, thanks.
Let's go, Moon.
After you, Warren.
So are y'all heading that way, or stopping by the inn first for anything, or what? And is everybody
does anyone-
together, or do you need to retrieve other people?
I think we're all together. I don't think anybody said they were going to be anywhere else, right?
Isn't Sock still like nursing a wrist wound from all those letters he had to write?
Yeah, he's got carpal tunnel now. No, legend has it he's still writing notes today.
My God.
Yeah, no, he didn't come with us. He was the only one that didn't come with us because he was still writing notes.
All right. Well, I guess we have to go get Sock. And then he's going to have to follow. Yeah, or he's going to have to just follow behind us on autopilot.
Sure, y'all retrieve him and walking, making sure you get to the right way. At this point, morning traffic is picked up, slowing things down a little bit. You eventually, I'd say, after about 2 hours, you arrive. Very nice estate. Everything black wrought iron gates, black shingles. Everything's that Gothic Victorian look. There are two armed warriors standing at the gate in his livery, I believe is the correct enunciation. And as you approach, they their pole arms cross each other in front of it and state your business.
Oh, I think we have a note.
Yes. I hand the note to Oren.
Oren will turn the note to them so they can read it, obviously.
One of the guys takes a few moments, seems scrutinizing it, and he nods to the other. They part their pole arms. You may enter. And then we walk to the door. There's a nicely manicured garden, nice hedges, rose bushes, mixture of black and red roses. Hey, thanks for joining us over on YouTube.
It's the Yetub.
Grasshoppers on YouTube. You approach, I'm assuming knock on the door. After a couple of moments, a servant opens the door. May I help you?
Yeah, we were invited.
Yes, Lord Grishnak said that you may be having guests arrive. I assume that is you. Please, you may wait in the waiting room. And he shows you in. There's a room just off to the side out the foyer with several couches, chairs, a small serving table with like you're assuming tea or coffee. Yes, please help yourself. I'll let the master know that you're here.
Is there perhaps any ale?
No, it's something you may find at one of the local taverns. The master typically does not partake of such.
Ooh, tea.
And he bows as he leaves. So you're free to get your tea and crumpets if you want.
Yep. I'm gonna sit down
After
on
a few minutes,
a nice plush couch with some tea.
After about probably 10 minutes, returns and says, Lord Grishnak will see you in the viewing room, if you would, please. And just kind of steps to the side, holds out his hand for you to go the way he's directing. You walk down a long hallway, very wide hallway, deep crimson red carpets, very polished mahogany woods, all kinds of trophies, deer, wolf, other beasts. You're not quite sure what they would be. Line the hallways. Now, they did not let Scab in. Scab had to wait outside.
Aw.
And
That's
they
all
lead
right.
you to the sitting room. And he's perched in a chair by the fireplace, stands up. Please. I had a feeling I'd be seeing you. Make yourself at home. I think I made a picture for this dude. He doesn't have his hat on right now. Let me see if I find this picture.
What is a man?
Since he says make ourselves feel at home, I'm gonna do something obnoxious, and I'm going to
I'm gonna take my pants off or some shit.
No, I'm gonna kick my feet up on top of something that they shouldn't be on. I'm gonna sit on the couch and kick my feet up on something.
I want that hat.
Who wants the hat?
Me, I want that hat.
Here's the question. Is that hat going to go on top of the other hats, or is it going to go on the bottom and you're going to put the other hats on top
the
of
other
it?
hats.
Exactly, because then you won't know that there's more hats. So are you going to put the other hats on top of it?
I'm going to put a string through it and wear it on my back.
That's an awesome picture.
I'm going to have modular hats.
Dude, that's awesome. I like that. This was Midjourney, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Technically, I use the base prompt for Max, so that's why he's got a cool hat.
Oh my god, he stole your prompt, Max.
I adjusted
Max,
it
it's
for some
you
other
in the
stuff,
better
but that's where
universe.
it started out because I wanted a cool hat.
It's Max if he was rich.
Maybe because I did one too for Dr. Grishnak, so maybe Max is related somewhere down the line.
Oh no, I forgot. Dr. Grishnak had a sweet hat too. Dude, Max is gonna have so many hats.
Here, where's Dr. Grishnak?
It's a good thing Moose doesn't wear hats.
Actually, I'll hang on because I'll reveal that in a little bit. So anyway, that's him, but without the hat.
What?
Brandon, wait, what? So I assume you're here for your missing friend.
I think missing is the incorrect term.
Well, now that we're a more private company, I can speak a bit more freely. I had to bring it here because the forces that you were messing with and dealt with in the theater don't need to spread, and can, as you know, and as he says, as you know, he looks squarely at Sock, can corrupt. And I had to make sure the body was not going to spread corruption. Even though you may plan to burn it, it could spread corruption before you could do so.
Huh.
It's not been defiled. But of all of you, and he looks straight at you, Oren, you seem to be the one that was closest to this person. Correct?
Yeah, you could say that.
I understand wishing to honor your dead in a way that is befitting of a warrior fallen in battle. But what if I could offer you another option to return them to you?
What do you mean by that?
I've heard tell and have a few pieces of research. It's not complete, and I would have to look into it more, but with your friend being recently killed in the manner of which they were killed, and being touched by the Empyrean, I may be able to draw some of their essence back and make them whole again. As for the body itself, there is a family member who specializes in anatomy, who can put the physical pieces together. If you were to pursue more esoteric means, the soul may be able to come back to the body as well. And as he's talking there, you hear footsteps coming in. Is this is the man I was speaking of? This is Karl Grishnak, professionally known Dr. Grishnak.
You motherfucker, Bradley.
And this guy walks in.
Oh, that's also a sweet hat.
Emily's got a lot
As
of.
far as I'm concerned, all these prompts are a dude wearing a cool hat.
Pretty much.
That's all the prompt needs to be.
You can see a slight family resemblance, not like a direct, but there's some semblance there because hats run in the family.
Is his skin genuinely gray?
It's not like exactly like that because that's kind of shadowed,
Okay.
but yeah, there is more of a grayish pallor to it. And he bows. He's like as Count Grishnak was saying, or sorry, as Count Grishnak was saying, I do have means to reunite the physical pieces of the body. I am quite skilled in that method. I've had much practice. Doctor by trade, and I've seen many injuries from gangrene and such where limbs have to be removed to wounds that could be repaired and resealed. I'm fairly confident I can restore the body. It may be scarred, and with the severity of the wounds, there will definitely be scarring, but I could put it together. As far as what the Count can do otherwise is beyond my means. I know a little of it. I've heard tales. It's long been stories in the family of such things being possible. Not that it's ever been attained, but the Count knows more than I. He kind of bows and then just stands off in the corner. Not like menacingly or something. He's just like not trying to be front and center.
Menacingly.
So say I am. You have to say. What does this all do for you? Why ask us to do it at all?
Well, you have done me a great service with preventing what was coming out of that theater. You seem to be a capable crew. And as well, there are other things that pop up in this city that need a more delicate hand, a more discreet clientele to distribute, be it justice or closure of things. I figured you look like the type that are for hire, so other services I could use you for. I have other matters that take my attention usually, state and such, pardon me, but bullshit that you have to deal with in a position of mine. And as I said, there's discretion sometimes that needs to be done. The population could become distressed if things like what you encountered became common knowledge. Of course, there are always whispers in children's stories, but the best they remain those.
Hmm.
So, where you can help, I can possibly return the favor.
What exactly needs to be done? Where would we be going?
That is partially unknown at the moment. I'd say I will need to have some time to be more precise on narrowing tales and requirements down. But until that point, there's I do have other service you could render. Say, I know one thing I have to nail down for certain. There's a rod that is needed, which basically would have to replace part of the spine of your friend and hold some of the essence. And I believe, and he kind of looks to your sword, something that is close to your specialty, or at least your background.
Hmm.
I do not know a precise location or exactly what is entailed. I just know of a rod that was once and is protected by many runes. And those who empower them. The next step, as far as I can tell, if that rod exists and can be retrieved, there's a great beast that has grown monstrous and beyond its range of what it should be kept to. It typically feeds on wildlife and is moved towards livestock and then peasantry, and serves two purposes: removes a problem for the land, and it's, from what I understand, again, I need more research, possibly its blood could help imbue this rod as part of the process. As for more details, I need time. If you wish. If you do not, then I have other matters that I can spend that time on.
Well,
And we need Scott here to be screaming like, nope, 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 nope.
I know. I was just about to say, so who wants to play Scott? Who wants to play the role of Scott screaming?
Yeah,
Absolutely
Stock's
fucking
being
not.
relatively chill about all this.
I'm going to take his
He's so
He's still
incredibly
nursing his
passive
carpal tunnel
participation as just acceptance and agreement to what is happening.
He's so incredibly angry that he's just entered a state of total and utter sin.
I would say that Sock probably has like a massive like blood vein
He's entered a rage coma.
that you can see like on his, like you thought Proxima
Gina.
knew how to rage.
I didn't think you were that
man.
stupid.
Yeah. His lack of interaction not being here right now really like sucks.
Yeah, this is rough.
I know he's just a bag of nopes for this.
Yeah, I don't know. What would Sock say? Sock would probably be like really sarcastic about it, right? He'd be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a wonderful idea. Let's mess with the great powers beyond."
What would Sock do?
Yeah, what would Sock do? I think we need to agree on what Sock would do.
The only thing I can really work out in my head is that at least these actions don't sound downright deplorable. And if what he's done is, get the Inquisition's attention, and they do eventually head out this way, he figures it's taken care of. So as long as we're not doing,
Mhm.
big bad things, he's not like, I need you to go, scalp the local peasants because they looked at me today, and we're not like in that territory. So
You know what?
But
You're
he
right.
has mentioned
Sock
like
is,
bringing people back is just a no-go.
Sock is double. How about Sock is like double agenting. Double agenting right now, where he's like, yeah, tell me all the information, and I'm gonna fucking report your ass.
I've got two questions, Your Countess, Lord, Sir.
Grishnak.
One, can I get a refill on the tea? And two, have you ever done this before?
No. Well, excuse me. Yes, you can have a refill on tea. And he makes a
Also
motion
no.
towards Dr. Grishnak, and he nods and he runs off to fetch a servant. As for what I'm offering to attempt, no. It said it's been legend through research. My family and throughout history has always sought knowledge, and of course, anyone with wealth and power wants to achieve immortality. It's out of reach, but there are always stories. But no, I've never attempted such.
With all due respect, your Grishnakness, I would have to disagree with. I'd have to disagree with that, as the only good death that any man can truly hope to attain is one in glorious battle.
Preferably, against wildlife.
Yeah, specifically against polar bears. They are my tribe's greatest foe.
I've heard of. I've never seen a polar bear. I do not know how much of a menace they are to tribes, but I will take your word.
They're great 20-foot high beasts, 2,000 pounds of muscle, 500 razor sharp teeth, 8 claws on each paw.
Is this thing a shark or a bear? What the fuck?
He's on a roll. Don't stop him.
Just kind of nodding his head, like, impressive.
Yeah, they can smell the blood inside a man from over 100 miles away,
It's
and they
Reggie
hunt
inside you.
relentlessly.
This bullshit.
All right, hang on, I got
I
a
didn't
Hey,
roll
thanks
too
for the
well.
raid. Appreciate it. Welcome.
Oh, I only have a +1 to my deception. Uh-oh.
I mean,
Didn't need it.
Does
Didn't
he even know
matter.
he's deceiving, or does Moose
I'm,
believe this?
I'm gonna say that these are, because Moose has actually never seen one of these polar bears himself, but these are in his tribe's legends.
Okay.
So he's deceiving in that he's never seen one before. But other than that, he truly believes this is what a polar bear looks like.
Yeah, Reggie's eyes are just getting like big as dinner plates as he's holding this freshly poured cup of tea.
Say, unless anybody has any major objections at the moment, you might be interested.
Sorry, what were you trying to incite, Reggie?
No, Moose.
Yeah, the polar
Okay.
bear thing.
You're stunned at this knowledge that you never knew about. It's like, wow.
Definitely marking polar bears off the list of things I might one day want to pet. Okay. Still curious. Thank you for the tea, by the way. You said this rod was protected by a bunch of runes. They wouldn't be more of those freaky circles like the theater, would they?
Again, I would need more research. From what I'm understanding through tale, they're more akin to what your friend is acquainted with. He points at Orin.
Aw, he thinks we're friends.
But you said Orin, right? You didn't mean Sock. You actually meant Orin.
Orin. Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's got a ruined blade, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Duh.
So,
The Orin, creepy things don't like start spawning around your blade, do they?
you see any yet, Reggie?
Well, no. Okay.
But as he said, yet.
Where did you get the idea that I might know a thing or two about Rune?
I have many eyes and ears throughout this land, especially this town. I am also an astute observationist. I know a lot of lore. My family's collected, let's say, many esoteric things. Brandon, do not mock me. I know a bit of what your blade can do. Not a lot, but a little.
All right. Well, this is more
So yeah,
careful
that's
about
a
that,
little. I would
suppose.
say for you, it's a little off-putting because it's for him to even hint around like he is.
Hmm.
That like, yeah, that shouldn't just be some common knowledge.
Right. Well, anybody other than Sock have any major objections?
Uh, I'm not sure we should be bringing back the dead.
Is that
Yeah,
your only major objection?
You see, my own compass is skewed. My own moral compass is skewed more towards the weight of gold. But I agree with Max in this case.
I don't like it. If everyone else wants to try, I mean, I'm not gonna not make a huge stink about it, but I don't like it. It's bad.
Damn it, Scott, log in.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, I know we gotta drag out this conversation longer to give Scott time to show up.
My only concern is boy, it got really quiet in here all of a sudden. I have my reservations, but I also think there's some good to be done.
I mean, he's literally talking about bringing someone back from the dead and sewing their body back together.
And he's still standing right there.
I do have a question for one of the two Grishnaks. What is the current state of our friend's body? Do you have your own private ice house here that you're keeping it in?
There is an ice cellar. So the body is,
Okay.
other than being transported here, it has been untouched. Other than examination for possible contamination or corruption.
And we see it as an act of good faith?
Of course. And he looks over at Dr. Grishnak. He's like, yes, I can take you to where it is.
Orin, you want to get eyes on it? Make sure we're still on the up and up?
I could do that.
I mean, I'll go. I've seen it already. Not here, but it's not like I'm afraid of seeing it again.
Are we all gonna go, or just Orin and Reggie? Is this like an offer for all of us to go see the
It's
body?
whoever
or-
wants to do it. He's not saying
Okay.
only one of you or anything. He's just like, do you want it as a sign of good faith? Please. I have nothing to hide from you. Say I only make this offer also because, well, something that most could be burned for even mentioning.
I think Moose is fine staying here.
So you've encountered such things as well as, and he cuts his eyes towards Sock. Some of you also stink of it, as well as other things. You, as he's looking straight at Sock, that's why, damn it, I want Scott here. You're a bit of an oddity. You're at war with yourself. You stink of warp and you stink of Inquisition.
Well, to be fair, the Inquisition does have to deal with a lot of warpy things.
They typically do not.
Carry the stench.
He's look like he's trying to learn how to phrase it correctly or politely. Allow those who use it to practice amongst themselves, though.
I think maybe the translation, Reggie, is in the Inquisition. They do to those who do what Sock does, what I threatened to do to you. Which, in case you forgot, is I threatened to cut you in half if you turned into another giant raging red monster.
Now we've got a different person cut in half. See, it's dangerous to run with scissors, Moose.
I don't run with scissors. That scissors are for children. I run with my great axe.
I'm gonna give both of you the side eye.
So that's another thing that for Sock, definitely. The rest of you, like, how do you know this about him? It's kind of unsettling. He seems to know a lot more than he should. Even though he's not
already made me
saying a whole
uncomfortable.
lot, he's saying enough to be like, how do you know this?
I'm suddenly much more eager to be in the ice room.
You never know what he's gonna bring up about you, Reggie.
Yep, I'd like to go downstairs now.
Not a problem.
I have no more
I hope you
questions.
find the tea calming.
I was told, Count Grishnak, that you are not a man who enjoys his ale. Is that correct?
Correct. Sorry, I cannot provide such for those that enjoy it.
The lack of accommodations notwithstanding, this has been a very, very pleasant, and I mean that because it's very comfortable. It appears to be a very nice house. It has been pleasant accommodations so far. Is there perhaps any other sort of alcohol you may have on hand for consumption?
At the moment, situation does not require bringing such out, but I understand a man's thirst. The local
yes.
inns can, I'm sure, accommodate you well.
Yeah, man. Internally, Moose is just thinking, man, what an asshole.
In the polar bear uprising, he'll be on the front lines.
I just saw what you whisper over there, Moose. That's funny. While maybe not, I do appreciate the ideas you put in my head. You care if I say what you sent through?
Yeah, you're welcome to say it. I don't
That's
care.
funny. He sent me a message like $5 says he wants us to kill season 1 team.
Well, I sent it to Reggie.
Oh, was that? Look, I can't tell because
Yeah.
I get all the whispers. I thought it looked like you were
Yeah,
sending it to me.
was a whisper to Brandon. I was whispering to Brandon. $5 says he wants us
That's
to kill the
funny.
season 1 team.
That would be awesome,
Oh,
actually.
man, we're gonna have to train.
Cut to
Yeah, we are.
training montage.
Dude,
Versus Proxima
Bro,
would be
season
pretty
1 team
brutal,
would
though.
fucking punt us.
dude,
Mhm.
Leora's gun would kill all of us. We would not survive.
But we got a different pupper cam if I can get this fat ass up here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sam. This is Sam. She's visiting for a while.
Oh my god.
Oh,
She's a chonker.
Where do you find these things at?
Do what?
Where do you find these things?
I find this from my middle daughter bringing her animal over here.
Okay, where did she find it? At like the Olive Garden?
She's
He found a small
she's
dog.
I call her a tick dog because she looks like a tick. It's just this huge body and stick legs. Someone said she looked like a seal. She's a lovely girl.
Oh my god.
She's like, I just love the
And then
endless
Honey's like, I
breadsticks.
gotta get up here too, Dad. I'm the original pupper cam.
Yeah,
Oh, nuts.
I love every time you pick up your pupper, they start freaking out like, I'm up. Corgis are cute.
We had special pupper cam. So, you're all heading down to look at the body, or
Yep.
Yep.
Moose is staying. Yeah, Moose doesn't want to see the body. He's already seen enough of the body.
no problem. So those that are going, Dr. Grishnak leads the way. You go down a couple of hallways to a stairway that goes down. You're guessing 2 to 3 floors, and you can feel it getting colder the further you go. The lighting becomes more dim. Torches and sconces more spaced out, and takes you to a cooler room. Picks up one of the torches in a sconce, and walks in with it because it's pitch black in there, very cold, and you can see on a stone slab, you see the body of Cleo there, kind of put together in a semblance of if it was whole, but of course it's got the break in the middle. Intestines and everything that have been hanging out are neatly piled up into the center. It looks like the body has been dealt with respect and care. All the possessions, clothing and everything are like set into laying on the floor beside it. So if you wish to take the possessions, if you wish for us to proceed and do these things, the adventuring gear or whatever equipment you have are of no use here. So if you wish to take those. Sure, go ahead and roll. He seems to be being genuine what he's saying. You don't pick up anything that's like, I'm going to eat this body or something as soon as you leave or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Cleo. All the possessions, the things that you knew were there, are all there in the pack. Are y'all going to take it or leave? Like the equipment, what are y'all going to do with it?
I wouldn't think to even have rights to it. Follow Oren's lead.
What about Oren? Is Garrett still here?
I mean,
Yeah,
if we're going to,
Take the stuff for the dog out of the bag. The leash food bowl.
Okay. He says, before you take this, I was told. He looks to the side. There's like a long metal rod, and he kind of moves some stuff around in the pack and picks up an item, and it's the. Hello, Kate. Her nasty chewed up brush. Pulls out on the end of this iron rod he's got. I was told this you should be wary of if you keep it, and it's her bag that she got out of the cursed items.
Now you can get rid of that.
Oh yeah, the bat poop bag.
Yep. Say we
Fact,
can dispose
trash
of
it.
Okay. He's like, probably a wise choice. And he cautiously moves it, sets it off onto another table somewhere, and like you can tell he's not touching it. Told Kate, I sent her a message. I don't know if she read it or not, that if she wants to play in between here or there, she can play Scab.
I mean, we shouldn't take the stuff if we're gonna. It'd be really awkward for Cleo to come back and we just have all their stuff.
Well, there are some steps in between A and B, and if there's anything that might help us get certain things done, like I believe something was mentioned about a beast that had grown quite monstrous, whose blood we might need, for the reanimation process. I don't think it's just going to willingly give us some blood.
And before that,
Not
there
with
was
that
mention
attitude.
of a rod that you would need to imbue with that blood.
Yeah.
I did not know if you wanted the possessions to keep, because at the moment, this is a theory that we could do such. If we fail or it doesn't work, you may wish to keep your friend's possessions.
We'll come back for
Or
her.
even if it does, you may wish to return them to him.
Keep them here.
Very
No.
well.
I assume we're going to
That's
come
not a
back
problem.
here to do the...
I just didn't know if there's anything that y'all wanted to get off the body, because she had a couple of
I mean,
items and things that might be useful for y'all.
What are they? Healing potions?
Let's see.
Kate tuned in just in time for us to rummage through her inventory.
Let's see. Other than the standard, you got your backpack with bedroll. She had 12 gold, 55 silver. First aid kit. A first aid field guide, a healer's kit. Rope, tinderbox, torches, that kind of stuff. Bat's bounty, y'all did not want to keep. Her armor, longbow, short sword, quiver, and the spiked collar, which you took. And then there was a little onyx, a little sculpture of a hound in onyx. That you've never seen this before, Oren. You don't ever remember her showing that to you. Play your knowledge. That's something she pocketed out of the bedroom of. Why am I going blank? The theater owner. Remember his bedroom.
Yes, upstairs.
Sorry, my live audience here is being distracted as they're playing with filters on their phone. Hey, what's up, Master Dad? Welcome. So, if you want to take any of that, you're welcome to it. If not, they'll put it in a keep safe place.
will keep it safe here.
We'll remove it from the freezer, but it'll be kept safe.
Appreciate.
Still wondering something. It was mentioned that we could only do this because Cleo had recently touched the Empyrean, whatever. I guess that's just like a colloquialism for dying around here. But are we like on a time crunch now?
No, nothing has been said about like it's imperative you got to get this done in 2 days or it's else. Basically, he's saying, for player knowledge, since she touched the warp, she was killed by a warp creature and stuff. That may be possible how she can be brought back because of that, the way it happened and what did it. That there may be something that allows that magic to restore life to her, or him maybe.
Well, Warren, seems like that's our dude in the flesh.
Oh,
Everything seems above board so far.
yeah, I think we could at least give it a shot.
I can still hear
worst that
Scott
happens.
screaming no, even though he's not here.
It doesn't work.
I mean, we'll at least see what kind of challenges we're actually dealing with here. Like, if we go try and find this rod, and we're like, oh, hell no, nope, out of there. That's way too difficult. Then we don't have to. We're not contractually bound to keep going, right?
No, that's just if you want to attempt this, he'll basically say he'll do some more research to try to get more details on to put you on the course.
Oh yeah,
if
yeah.
you're
I was
willing to do it.
genuinely asking or posing that to Oren, like thinking through our process. Assume that means
While y'all are doing this, Moose, you're just left up there with Count Grishnak.
Yep. I'll get a cup of tea at this point because I am thirsty.
He'll have somebody bring it to you. So he brings that, and then there's for a little bit there's just kind of an uncomfortable silence. He just sits there, kicked back in his chair, just looking at you.
I just look right back at him as I drink my tea.
Which is a bit comical looking as the camera focuses in on Moose with this tiny teacup in his monstrous hand.
I'm probably pinching it with just my index finger and my thumb.
Yeah,
It's
so
probably
you've
still
seen
too
you've
small.
seen that picture of the mountain and his girlfriend sitting together and they're holding like
Yeah.
chocolate mug or cocoa mugs. And it's just
Yeah.
like this little tiny thing. So that's what it's like for you. So
as we're
tell me
heading
of
back
these terrifying polar bears more. Have you fought one?
I never got the chance to fight a polar bear. I have fought a brown bear before, and while terrifying in their own right.
I do not believe brown bear. We have some here. I do not believe they have the 8 million teeth or however many it was.
No. These polar bears are from the far north, even further north than my tribe used to, or that my tribe lives. But no, I've never seen or fought one of these polar bears myself. There was a pelt worn by the leader of my tribe that had many of these teeth and many of these claws still attached. He wore it with pride.
And
That's the closest.
Are all the men of your tribe as large as you?
They are quite large, but no, they are a little bit smaller than me. Still quite much larger than you.
And I would assume the women are quite stocky as well, to carry such men as you.
Very much so.
I feel sorry for your mother.
I never met her, but I may have felt sorry for her too had I gotten that chance.
So how did your group...
Comical sip.
Yes, it sits there for a few more moments, kind of the silence, kind of uncomfortable. And this ask you, so how did you and your friends come to gather and do what you do?
We joined together defending a caravan, and we fought very well together against a group of bandits, slayed many of them, those cowardly dogs, and there was good money to be earned, and since then there has been more good money to be earned. So as long as the money keeps flowing, they continue to be good companions.
I'm assuming the things you've encountered in the theater are a bit more than bandits. Is that the first encounter you've had with such creatures?
He's here!
Let's rewind.
All right, here.
So,
You want to
Scott,
pause real quick and bring him up to to where we're at?
You headed to Grishnak's townhome to retrieve the body of Cleo. He is then giving you a proposition that there may be a way to bring Cleo back. It will have to be researched, and no guarantee it would work, but offered the possibility of such. At the same time, has dropped a few little hints here or there that he knows more about each of you than is comfortable, really. He exclaimed how you stink of the Empyrean and the Inquisition. And you seem to be a conflicted individual and very curious to him. He's mentioned something about the runes and connections with Orin. And so as opposed to them, they're currently, if you're with them, they're down basically in a cellar area to confirm that Cleo's body's been there and unmolested. The reason he took the body, he confides more honestly with you when you first got there, is because of the manner of death and the creature that did it, to make sure there was no corruption or contamination before it was dealt with, and maybe to him, maybe you wouldn't deal with it properly or completely, so he wanted to basically make sure there was no corruption in the body, was the main reason he took it. But then is now offered for the services you did render in fixing a problem in his town, and maybe some continued fixing of problems that require discretion, that he would do this as a favor, but basically to research it more. And it seems like Orin's leaning towards, yeah, let's resurrect Cleo. And we're just talking about how, like, you're just, Sock's going to be screaming, nope, 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 bad idea. Or we would assume so.
In his head, yeah. But there is a small part of him that's curious, and there's a much larger part of him that's like, I wonder if we can use this to kill Grishnak one day.
See, I told you he would be being a double agent.
Yeah, but he straight up mentioned you having the stink of the Empyrean about you as well as the Inquisition. So you don't know how he would know that. Huh?
Everybody knows that shit.
Well, yeah, but how does this guy know that?
I don't know. Maybe he got a good look at me when I was raiding his underground sewer lair. I don't know. That is weird that he would bring it up, though.
That too, as he's talking about stuff, he has a relative he said he can bring in that could do repairs to the body, and brought in Dr. Grishnak.
Oh, great. Well, there's more than one of them. Fantastic.
This Grishnak is older and not the same one as the season 1 characters met, but it is the same character from season 1, the doctor.
Right. Cool. We get to end an entire family tree, I think, maybe.
And then Nick's betting $5 that it's going to turn out that he's going to want y'all to fight season 1 characters.
Yeah, I'm betting it's going to become a showdown, season 1 versus season 2.
But you also missed when we temporarily had the idea on the table to just burn the entire building that was housing the body. So that would
just burn
take care of
Grishnak's
everybody.
townhome and everybody in it down.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's always a fire, man. The ultimate purifier.
Yep. So I stayed upstairs. I had no interest in going into the cellar to see the body. Everyone else went. Would you have stayed with me, or would you have gone to inspect the body?
I'd have gone to see the body.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all are also offered. He held up on a long iron rod the bountiful bat guano bag. If y'all wanted that, and they said nope. So he's like, very good choice, and set it offside. So unless you want it, and
No.
or any of her other possessions,
I do not believe so. I'd like the ability to cast Fireball myself later on at some point. I don't want to have vulnerability to it as well.
well, if you remove that curse part, then you won't have vulnerability. But
Remove. Isn't that? I forget how high
It's
up.
like level 5,
you'll
right?
get it. It's a 3rd level. You'll get it at 5th.
Oh, okay.
But the option was there, so yeah, that one, because death kind of breaks the curse bonding there. So
On our
hey,
way
there could have
back
been
up
better ways
from-
to break that curse, but hey, it worked.
On our way back up from the ice room, can I just kind of keep looking around and see what else seems to be going on? If I can see into any side rooms or
Anything
went
as you
through-
look to catch glimpse of anything else seems like a normal, operating play. You see servants moving from here or there. Here's Kit and Cam.
Oh, Kitten Cam. Hang on, I gotta cut. I
Yeah,
gotta
she
cut
doesn't
over
want
to see this.
She's like, I don't want to be up here.
Oh,
that's pretty accurate, Kitten Cam.
Hey, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it.
welcome. They heard Kitten Cam was up.
Yeah, it's good timing.
And she's like, I'm done. Bye.
Meow.
So nothing untoward that I can catch glimpses of. Nobody screaming, tied to a rack.
No, it all seems very mundane and normal.
Except for all the people tied to racks. We left that
Yeah.
part out.
Yeah.
That's just
Well, those
that's
were
just how they do
behind
things in this
closed
part
doors.
of the
He was
country.
looking indoors that were open.
Yeah.
Nick's trying to pretend I've got a sponsor or something. Raid
No,
Shadow Legends.
No, I'm just making a joke because he said raid time.
Yeah, then I guess we'll head up back out of the cellar.
Yeah, you go back up. You can hear conversations about polar bears, brown bears, and polar bears and stuff as you're coming back. That Moose is having a conversation with Count Grishnak. I assume everything's in order and proper for you.
That is, yep, that's one Cleo down there. If you add all the pots up, I mean.
Yeah, Moose looks at you suddenly like, there's only one?
One Cleo's worth of Cleo.
Understood.
It'll be quite the scar.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
I don't think one suffers such an injury and does not have scars to show for it. So you do not need to answer now. You know how to contact me. In the meantime, while you think about it, if I do need to know to continue research or not. While an interesting subject that I would like to pursue, if there is no time crunch on such, then I do have other matters to attend to. So if you can let me know to proceed or not, at your earliest convenience would be appreciated. Before such, though, if you would not mind talking to someone, and he nods to a servant that's standing near the entryway to the visiting room. They turn and leave, and you hear footsteps coming back down the hallway. And a gentleman in a bowler cap, he's got a pipe, nice dark gray jacket, comes in. He's like, "This is Watch Inspector. Where'd I put the name? Hogan
Krishnak?
Muncie." And the watch inspector kind of comes in and sizes you up. You don't look like much, but Count Grishnak here says that you're some who are in need of gainful employment and can work in discretion. If that's true, this may be your lucky day. His hands are thrust deep inside his coat pocket, and he kind of starts. His eyes look like he's seen some shit. He stares coolly from underneath the brim of a brown bowler hat. Polished city watch shield pinned to his lapel twinkles in the lantern light. And he says, "I'd like to introduce you to someone that's in need of a service. And I think you should be able to provide that the job will be well worth your time and effort. Not only in coin, but I believe in earning a little bit more influence amongst certain people." And he kind of inclines his head towards the Count. At this point, he places his bowler on a table nearby and looks thoughtfully as he scratches his balding head and kind of taps out his pipe into his palm and then just puts it in his pocket. His heavy brow and bushy mustache and thick sideburns frame his thick face. And he says, "My name's Muncie, as was said, and Inspector Hogan Muncie. I can't tell you much else at the moment. You'll have to come with me if you want to know more. My acquaintance can explain more to you. Before I'm standing, though, looks like a good opportunity. He will have to discuss the terms of payment, but I do know there's coin involved. And if you're ready, we can head out. It'll be it's a few miles down the river."
I finish my comically small cup of tea and gently set it down on the table. And I stand up and I walk over to everybody else. "Well, I don't have anything better to do. What about the rest of you?"
Inspector, do we even get like a what's the what? Well, we don't have elevators. What's the 5-second pitch? Like, all we know is, hey, you want to pay us to do something.
I've got my contact is the one who needs it. I am trying to provide the service of those who could help them. The Count sent word to me that he knows a group that could be interested and invited me here. So I came with that offer. I can't give you the details, as that's for my contact to give. I'm just sort of a middleman, as you would see. I'm supplying the help. They have the job.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little curious.
Indeed.
Sure, why not?
Here at Max.
So, if you take up the inspector's offer or not, that is completely up to you. It would be a help to the citizens of the city, but it's not required. The only thing that I would say would be required is your answers to our previous discussions on issues, if you wish to proceed or not. Other than that, if you have no questions or answers for me at the moment, you may see yourself out when you are done speaking with the inspector. And he gets up and gives a bow and exits the room. And the
before you
Dr.
leave,
Grishnak follows him. Do what?
Count. Before
Yes.
he leaves, I'm just going to try to get his attention.
Yes.
So, if we were to go in on this, would our first target it definitely be that whole rod situation?
As you say the right, he kind of gives you a look and then slides his eyes towards the inspector, and like you definitely pick up that it's like, don't just speak openly of things in front of other people.
Roderick, the man you wanted us to go find.
I will have to do more research to find where Roderick may be.
But would he be our first?
As
person
far
to
as
talk
I
to?
know, again, I will need more research. But that is a discussion for another time in another company.
Fair.
And when he says that, the inspector kind of like lowers his head, like, I didn't hear anything. I'm not here.
Well, take it away, Inspector.
Now, do you have an answer if you want him to start research or not yet, or are you going to think about it?
I mean, where do I leave that post-it note?
Well, if you know for sure now, you can just say, yeah, get on it. If not, you have to get word to him later when you decide. I mean, he's here. If he's here, if he's not here, he has people that work here that can get message to the castle if he's left or whatever. I mean, it's not like he's hiding.
Right, Oren, Sock. I'm just going to throw my vote in that I figure it's a good bet. He should get to working on this first one. Just me? Anybody else?
Anybody? We shouldn't be doing this.
No,
Speak now?
it's like okay. He should start doing his part since we're going to have to wait on it anyway.
Right.
So that's
So.
thumbs up, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Are you going for the hat, Max?
I meant the bowler hat because he set
Oh.
it down on the table.
So many hats.
There will be time later. No. I can't just steal the hat now. Then when I come back around, then when I come back around, it's gonna be super awkward.
Hey, a good enough sleight of hand and deception roll. I'm just saying.
GrimDark Season 2, Hatception.
Later.
Kill me.
And then, so that's a yes to get going?
Yeah.
As a small aside, we should totally run a D&D game where everyone is powered by a hat, and
Oh my God.
powers are actually all your class features.
Anyway.
Lose that hat, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Then you're
You
back
lose
to
that hat,
zero
you
level peasant.
Yeah. I think that would actually be kind of funny in a way.
You could work in a supers game.
Yeah, the superheroes just wear hats. The hats give them all
There's
the
no
power.
capes, just hats instead.
Moose would like to take Reggie aside for a moment if he gets a chance. Just a little between the two of them. Is there an opportunity to do that right now?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Say,
All right, cool.
as y'all are walking out or something outside, you can stop and kind of step to the side and talk or something.
Reggie, come here for just a moment. There's something I would like to impart on you. Wait, that's a big word. Hang on.
Verb.
These hands.
Okay, yeah, I know what impart means.
I saw that one pop up. I was like, yeah, you can't use it.
was almost a one.
Yeah, my concern is that I'm not sure what you mean by impart.
I promise you that as long as you listen to me, your body will not feel any pain today.
Whoa, slow down. Take him to dinner first.
If you wish to continue in this line of work, Reggie, you need to learn proper timing, and you need to learn how to read a room, including but not limited to the individuals in said room. That was sloppy what you did in there, and had it been me and not the good Count Grishnak, I would have cleaved you in two then and there.
Wouldn't that just lead to further questions?
I'm going to glare at you. Your chances of not feeling pain today are slimming. I say this to you, Reginald, not because I care, but because you make a good meat shield. And I would like for you to be a long-living meat shield. You understand that?
You know, Reggie, I think that might be the nicest thing he's ever said to you.
Good plan, big man. Yep. Raid the room. No sloppy. Got it.
Very good. I give you a big old pat on the back.
There's that pain.
Oh, it's actually not that bad. I take it easy on you.
You underestimate my abilities of hypochondriacism.
Oh, I'm dying.
Fuck it. Let's just work for the Grishnaks and corrupt the world. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
We haven't corrected anything yet.
Yeah, that's why we need to start working with these guys.
Chaos Undivided, right?
Yeah, if the entire world is corrupted, it's basically undivided.
Yeah.
Well, that and I'm dying for us to be in a situation where we're not being eavesdropped by the Grishnaks or a chief inspector, whatever he is, so we can actually discuss why we want to do this or not.
Yeah, the inspector's like, if you need to gather up some equipment or gear before you leave, he tells you where to meet. So if y'all want to do it, we're like, hey, we're alone. We're going back to get to the end to get our gear, have a discussion, whatever. Y'all can play that. That's not a problem.
I don't think anybody needs to go get their gear, no.
Oh, I left my plot armor back at the tavern.
Interesting.
Well, I'm just saying, for if y'all want to have where you can speak out of earshot of other people, that's not a problem.
Moose is
Well, I
fine.
don't have it.
I'll just keep my ideas to myself.
I mean, you could
Do
say
you have
like,
ideas?
Well, no, just thoughts.
Those are dangerous.
Around some people they are. Like I'm busy calculating how small a percentage of Moose's actual body I could shield.
I think he'd be all right.
I can't wait till it's one of those Moose keeps just using Reggie as a punching bag and all these starts, and eventually Reggie's going to snap, and then he's like, okay, now who's the big one?
and then Moose rolls another natural 20 followed by another natural 1.
No, it'd be
Rips
even better.
Reggie in half.
He says, now who's the big one? Sock's like, I cast enlarge on Moose. We're going to have a battle of giants.
We're going to have Godzilla versus King Kong.
And then I enlarge.
Oh, do you get one of those?
Yep.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
I actually want this to happen. What level do you need to be?
I already have it.
I turned to our 2 rogues and I'm like, "Can you believe these assholes?
I know, right?
Let's just go."
Wait a minute.
I don't know
One
if
of
you
them
said
would
something
be-
after "wait a minute" or not.
No, it was
It
just,
went
he
quiet.
said I turned to our 2 rogues, and he says, "I can't believe these assholes." I'm like, "Wait a minute, I'm one of the 2 rogues."
And I'm an
Yes.
asshole.
He's talking about us.
So do y'all need
Right.
for your dialogue or whatever need like other
we're
ears
good.
not to be present?
We're good.
I think we're good.
Okay, so he leads you to a wharf area. It said we'll be heading down the river to a part of the town known as the Sinks. It kind of goes out into more marshland, a lot more canals and boat travel. Not as modern or well kept as this end of the city. And y'all start heading down. The riverboat finally reaches the archaic disarray of the Sinks, where every moss-covered, leaning building seems to rely on another means of standing, like a house of cards perched between a riddle of stinking canals and vast flocks of colorful waterfowl that swoop over its mansions and cathedrals. From the collection of old, dilapidated shipyard docks past a pyre-like building blistered with raven-headed gargoyles, to a huge statue of a bloated, what you would think would be a devil, some sort of demonic-looking creature, sheathed with many windows from which naked men and women hang from manacles. The riverboat makes its way towards a wide waterway and cuts through the district's heart. As you enter the Great Passage Canal, which bisects the Sinks from the Rhine River, the Bath's grand confluence more than half a mile away, and on the far side of the district, the smell of sewage begins to underpin a scent of decay, and rubbish-strewn waters take on a sheen of protrusions. The Sinks' main streets of trade are a constant hubbub of activity, flanked by a mismatch of shops, stores, warehouses, many packed on top of one another, with upper stories accessible only by rickety ladders or winched baskets or cages. Locals and visitors paddle, push, or guide canoes, rafts, kayaks, narrow boats, flat bottoms, barges, gondolas, and sondolas, every which way to access stalls and facades that display a cornucopia of goods for purchase. Ornate ornaments, carven furniture, fine clothing, abstract paintings, and risque sculptures jostle for attention amongst the more mundane offerings such as fruits, cured meats, home remedies, and boat supplies. Between the beyond, the traders' pitches, whose waves and cries of attention blend with the flapping of their colorful awnings and banners, the calls of ubiquitous seabirds, or marsh birds, excuse me, and the curse of songs in the putters, tilting townhouses with walls, faded frescoes pitched with dark chartreuse moss, and suspended wrought iron balconies cant over the edges of the waterway as though continuously threatening to collapse and crush the commerce beneath. Several hundred feet along the passage from where it joins the Rhine, the massive buildings, excuse me, a massive building bridges the canal. The riverboat pulls alongside its docks, sending a drifting black swan gliding away across the oily dark waters. "Here we are," states the inspector as he hops off the boat. As a couple of lads hurriedly looping the ropes around the dock cleats. You collect your gear and follow the inspector into the building that declares itself via a painted sign high on the wall above the docks, the Bridge House Tavern and Birdcage. Inside, the inspector leads you up a flight of stairs and through a series of interconnected bar areas that, despite the relatively early hours, are well attended. Laughter and chatter fill the air, along with trails of pipe smoke and aromas of dark ale, black rum, and baked bread. Servers in dark clothing and yellow aprons hustle barefooted across the polished dark wood floors, delivering food and drink to customers who sound remarkably polite and thankful regardless of their walk of life or station of sobriety. The sound of bird songs grows curiously louder as you pass deeper into the tavern until the source is revealed as a flock of canaries housed in a massive cage that passes through both ceiling and floors to levels above and below. The circular bar surrounding the wrought iron structure, and a statuesque middle-aged woman with curly red hair, a long black skirt, and a tight-fitting yellow bodice stand nearby. And as you approach, she's like, Inspector?
Inside the cage?
Do what?
She's in the cage?
No, it's like the centerpiece is this giant bird cage going between floors as the tavern kind of fits around this cage, and she's standing out. She's not in it. Only the birds are inside of it. She's like, Muncie. Just kind of like, yeah, she knows who he is, and he nods like, Ellie. She goes, what can I get for you fucks?
I like this one. I'll take the biggest ale you have.
Well, damn right you will. And what about the rest of you?
He'll take 2. One's on me.
Anybody else ordering?
I'll pass.
Okay, so she gets some.
Nope, go ahead. Sorry.
No, if you can say something's fine. So she just goes off to get drinks unless you're ordering.
I just don't know if Sock would probably order something very mild. I'll have an apple teeny. I don't know. I want something, but I don't know what I want. Don't at me.
At Scott.
No.
Apple tea. I take it your nuts haven't dropped yet. Gotcha. She goes off to a very, very crude woman. She goes off and brings drinks and sits them back. And, he's like, well, when you've finished with your drinks, we can continue on. But I understand being parched, and he gets a drink himself. And while y'all are drinking, I need to do a quick AFK. So I'll be right back.
Good guy DM drops drinks on the party and then leaves.
No, you'd be the best guy DM if you did it in real life. Here's your guys' booze. Bye. Have to tell a story yourselves.
I'm trying to think if
Oh, don't hurt yourself.
I know if Reggie did any treasure hunting or what do we call it? Relic diving and
Robbing?
no, we would never call it that.
Uh-huh. And other fun jokes you can tell yourself.
It's a fine line between archaeology and grave robbing.
How long does somebody have to be dead before it becomes grave robbing? Or before it becomes archaeology?
4 or 5 minutes.
Hey, I got a quick question for you guys. Does anybody else recall any other time that Reggie did anything to either piss off Moose or make Moose happy?
Sorry, I gotta go back to what Garrett said. Does that mean if we wait 5 to 6 minutes to loot a body, it's not illegal anymore? Or it's not looting a body, it's archaeology?
Listen, I would never share that secret with you.
So if I wait 7 minutes to be safe, I'm good. That's what I understand.
Look, if you really want to CYA, archaeology requires that you took some kind of notes as you did it.
Preferably underground in a tomb of some sort.
But not required, because you said preferably. So if I have a notepad and say smells, I'm good.
Maybe find some pottery nearby, break it, and scatter some pieces around the pot.
So if I get a backpack, see, now we're just arguing semantics. If I have a backpack filled with broken pottery, I'm good to go.
Wait, what if instead you just purchased a graveyard, and then you built a temple over the graveyard, and then you excavated it.
That's the
feel like we're
best idea you've ever had, Nick.
I feel like we're slowly building like a theme park here.
Well, technically, our archaeology trips are usually just us studying. We take things because we personally like to not be poor. Reggie, am I wrong?
Well, I was working for an academy, so they actually told me to bring things back.
Yeah, to study, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't get to
And
study
you-
most of them.
And you got paid, right?
Yes.
And so there it is.
Well, they said they were giving me college credit.
How did that go over?
No, they were paying me.
Hmm.
You were interning. For
No, but that would have
free?
been really funny.
He was an unpaid intern.
Wow, they had you pegged, didn't they? Sucker born every minute.
Hey Reggie,
Yeah.
I got an archaeology joke for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you even know the word archaeology, Moose? You gonna roll on that table?
You have to roll
I
on
am.
it, sir.
Yeah, I do.
He's heard Reggie use it.
This
Why
is
you-
this is unfortunately a Nick to Brandon, not a Moose to Reggie. Did you know that the reason that there are pyramids in Egypt is because they were too big to be taken back to Britain to be placed in the British Museum?
Checks out.
So, you finish your drink. Anything you're wanting to do here before you continue on?
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta
so
talk to Reggie.
Reggie spots a what's the word I'm looking for? A souvenir tankard that's just massive and it's shaped like a birdcage. So he's going to pay the 2 gold price tag and bring that over and take Moose's drinks and pour it into the birdcage thing and then
Cool.
shove it over to him.
So now you have your commemorative birdcage mug.
Thank you for this, Reginald.
It's comically oversized. It's like a 128 ounce mug.
So it looks like a tiny cup still in your hands.
It's bigger, still not
it,
big
it
enough.
it looks like a small L mug. So it.
Yeah. So wait,
Or
like for
forfeiting.
Reggie's size, is like Reggie holding it with like 2 hands?
Yeah.
Had one of in high school. One of my buddies, he had his drinking mug, and it was a big barrel shaped thing. I mean, it's one of those you had to hold 2 hands, but it was like a small cask. But he would fill that. I think it was a gallon total that he would fill up.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah, I had drunkard friends in high school.
That's
So-
all I was doing.
You
So,
finish your
Reggie, you,
drinks, gain your commemorative mugs. What else are you doing?
I was talking to Reggie about his archaeology.
Continue
I was
on.
asking him if you've ever found anything really cool. You know, anything that you wish you didn't have to part with. Maybe something that you know, just really caught your eye.
There's been really nice gems. There was one that was, about half the size of that mug I just paid for. Had kind of weird tingling energy to it though, so definitely put that in like a safety sack and handed that in. Probably worth a lot of money though.
You never did you ever just take anything for yourself? Or were you really dedicated, to your internship?
Okay, I wasn't an intern. They did actually pay me. Sorry, that was a joke.
More lies.
No one believes you. No one believes that's true now.
I've taken more things with you all than I have ever taken on my own.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I'm up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3 fun things from a bizarre dungeon-y to me space. Yeah,
From our decent excursions.
yeah. Learning a lot about what they do. How they fit
Very
into other people.
I'm sorry, what?
You know, the dagger and things. You know, some gallows humor. It fits into another person. It's weird.
I mean, that's a different kind of humor. But I could see how it could be gallows.
Well, anyway.
Fair enough. That's all.
So you finish your drinks and conversation, and the inspector leads you further into a seemingly more private area. He opens a door to a meeting room, and in the meeting room, a solemn middle-aged man dressed in dark blues of a high-ranking officer of the watch sits at the head of a long table. He stands as you enter and looks expectantly at the inspector, who shakes his head and nods in affirmation to an unspoken question before excusing himself and closing the door behind him. "Please, take a seat," says the man in a confident voice, clearly accustomed to issuing orders. He gestures to the chairs that surround the table, waiting for you to arrange yourselves and regards you with a keen interest before continuing. "My name is Ensign Gall, and I'm District Commander of the Watch for the Sinks. I have a current and pressing need for competent and trustworthy independent contractors. Inspector Muncie highly recommends you for the job, or else you wouldn't be here. I require you to investigate 2 deaths amongst the watch officers serving as overseers in the asylum. You'll be provided with all necessary authorizations and will each be paid standard stipend of 1 gold per day. The assignment will also grant the right to requisition materials as usual for watch contractors, but I require your utmost discretion as to the nature and detail of your investigation. You will report to me and only me. Are these terms acceptable?"
So this is less of a job and more of a long-term thing.
Well, it's a job. It's not you're not being hired to join the watch, but I need more discretion than sending other officers or inspectors.
Did you say asylum?
Yes, one of the major buildings here of the Sinks is the asylum. It's also part of the sanatorium and prison. But there have been a few murders of watch overseers, which is, while a dangerous place and not uncommon for accidents to happen, it happened within the fortification of where they barrack, which has never happened.
Are the occupants of this asylum just, like, free roaming? Are they locked in rooms?
No, they have their assigned areas. Say the watch itself is tasked with the security of the facility, since the institution is being too important and its inmates too delicate to trust to private enterprises or outside organizations. But due to the lack of funding, we have little option but to partner with the internal sanatorium, which addresses inmates for their suitability and additional resources. So your authority in this matter does not extend into interfering with that institution nor the internal prison. And I'd appreciate no escalation of this matter by interacting with either of them.
Sounds almost as if you want us to pretend like we were never there, but still do the job.
That would be well. Say, as I said, deaths in the asylum rarely ever call for an investigation. Even when they do occur among the overseers, the post is considered one of the most dangerous in the city, and with good reason. Say it's severely underfunded and under-resourced. A reprehensible situation that I've been fighting to rectify for some time. The deaths you were investigating both seem to have occurred in the Overseer's Tower, which, as I mentioned, itself is cause for concern, since it's a veritable fortress designed to keep those officers stationed there safe within its confines. That's all I can tell you at this time. Further details will be available from Overseer Wedgwood, who is the lead of the Asylum Watch.
Would we
Well-
have access to that tower?
Yes.
So we're cool with like the overseers knowing that we're there looking. at
Yes,
this.
it will be known. You will be basically deputized. You will have writs and badges. And at that point, he pulls out a bag, sits and puts out. They're not the same badges as what the watch wears, but it's enough. It symbolizes you're conscripted to the watch, basically. But you don't have you will have no other authority over other watchmen, but you can do requisitions for any equipment you may need within
Wow.
reason and our means.
Well, as far as investigating, not particularly well gifted at that. Really, my strong. I think I might be better at making a mess. But if any of you guys think the job seems more than possible,
I mean, I do have a bit of history with investigating and, discovering details in locations.
well, Max, what about you? Got something under that hat, I know it.
Yes, it's cold in my head.
That's yet to be seen.
Hats
Yeah,
all the
we-
way down.
We actually don't know. You've never taken it off. There could be anything under there.
And indeed, there could be.
Get the hat.
No!
Moose
Fucking backflips
reaches
out the
for the
door.
hat.
That's the job. I think we could. I think we could do a little investigating. Doesn't sound too bad.
Know
Will there
that when Moose and I get going, it gets a little messy.
Yes, will there be opportunities to crack skulls together, or are we to avoid that?
As
Oh,
long
come
as
on,
you
Moose.
can
You're just going to have to read the room.
say it's a dangerous place. It can be. So
It's a
as long
minus
as it's done with
one.
discretion, you have to do what you have to do.
How do you feel about it, Stock?
Sounds like a wonderful idea, really.
Well, avoid making a mess out of things.
Oh, that we never do. I mean, discretion is our middle name.
Well, learned something about Sock today. Middle name.
So go off, discretion, Maliadak.
Now, are we doing this for a gold a day?
What kind of materials are we allowed to requisition?
Depends on availability and what you're asking for. Mechanic wise, once a day, you can anything that's basically 20 gold value or less. That isn't some weird rare thing. They'll probably have on hand.
So no weapons and armor.
I probably would take this 5 chameleon blood.
If there's things you need that are worth more than 20, it may take a day to procure them. So, let's see.
Guys, I
You
think
can
I just thought of-
requisition mundane equipment worth 100 gold or less from the watch once per day. Doing so requires you go to the watch station with your credentials, succeed a DC 10 persuasion check.
That's bad.
Yeah, that should be easy. Depending on who's talking. If you're successful, any item of 20 gold value or less can be had immediately. GM's discretion, since some items can be harder to consume, to come by and require a day to procure. Items worth more than 20 require a day to procure, and you must come back to pick them up. Anything that's not used will be expected to be returned as well. Or they will issue you a receipt that you have to pay back.
What happens if I don't pay it back?
Well, then you're probably going to have the watch looking for you.
And you
May not be hired to
Not
do
the
such things.
watch. I hate when those guys come after me.
What, they don't have this man on a list already? He was in jail.
He's in a different district, so he's okay at the moment over here.
Ooh, scrolls are worth less than 100 gold.
Don't forget, you got to return it when you're done.
If it
Trolls,
doesn't
yeah, I
get
don't think they're going to be dealing warp items.
Aw,
Oh no.
it's an asylum.
That would
What
be a
are
great
they?
twist, though, if you requested a scroll and they actually had it, and that was the clue that there was something fucky going on with the watch.
It's that you see is just the meme that with the monkey that's like looking forward and backwards, like what?
Oh, we did ask about pay. I didn't hear anything. Said it was a gold a
Yeah,
day.
you said he offered you gold a day.
That's
Damn, better not break the bank on that one. How long are we expecting this to take at a gold a day?
I do not know your skills or what it's going to take. I can't answer that. Say I can double it, but I expect extreme professionalism and expediency as well as discretion.
Maybe I should reframe the question. If that's the stipend, as you put it, is there a reward for completing the job?
It's
You get
always
to
a
return all the
possibility.
borrowed gear.
I mean, that's usually the motivating factor, right? Is like what's
Offering you 2 gold a day, you would know that a standard working wage is in the copper to silver range.
Well, yeah.
So, in kind of him hawing about that is offered to double it. So 2 gold a day is actually pretty good money.
This job is either exceedingly dangerous or exceedingly out of their capabilities.
Why not both?
Well,
Maybe it's out of their capabilities because it's so dangerous. Did you ever think of that?
I'm
I mean,
gonna be the
it
one to
crossed
point
my
out to
mind.
them- I'm not going to be the one to point out to them that they're essentially incentivizing us to take longer.
Yeah, let's
We'll hit
Let's-
Grishnak in his wallet. That's where it'll really hurt.
Did you guys find anything yet?
Did you
No,
see-
but these These margaritas are fucking wild.
We found these margaritas.
Kate's in chat. She's like, fine, but you got to pay our dog too.
Actually, you know what? Because Kate says that, I assume Scab is still following Orin, right?
Yeah, by
Yeah.
the time when you live, he had to stay outside the townhouse, but yeah, as soon as y'all come out, he fell in line.
Oh, and I'm sorry, what was this guy's name again?
Ishin Gall.
Oh, and Gall, one more thing.
Yes.
Our feline friend here, and I gesture to Scab, is a crucial part of our team and will help us greatly in this endeavor. Scab will receive the same pay as the rest of us.
When
Yeah,
you say
his
feline,
Did I say
eyebrow kind
feline?
of goes up as he looks
Yes.
at he looks at Scab and looks at you, and he
Hang
kind of
on,
looks
hang
at
on,
the
hang
rest of you.
no,
It makes
wanna-
sense.
I
It
want it to
makes
be
sense.
known- I want it to be known that when he says feline, he says it with such confidence and gusto that Sock even looks at Scab like, "Is that right?"
Holy shit,
Am
that's
I-
a cat!
Were you a cat the whole time and just didn't tell me?
I look
That's
down
why
at
I
it,
thought
I'm
it was a weird looking dog, because it's a cat.
like,
The
like
ugliest
you
cat
say
I've
it with
ever
such
seen.
confidence that I imagine several of the other characters look at Scab like, "Cat? Does he know
So-
something we don't?"
So in this case, Moose didn't fail his role tonight. Nick did.
So hey,
I gotta save that one
even
and
better
post
that
it
you
in
did the
chat.
same thing too, Bradley. It's even better that you just had that guy do it, where you're just like, "Cat." He looks at it too, and the other like 4 players all look at it like, "Cat."
He's so confident. Everybody make a wisdom save. You now all believe Scab is a cat. Will you fail?
We're getting gaslit by the barbarian.
I got a nat 20. I'm pretty sure it's a dog or hyena.
And
The two
Max and
rogues
Reggie
get
aren't
it.
really sure. Y'all are kind of on the fence about this.
Are you? Max looks at Reggie like, is that a cat?
Moose, when we're done here, we have to have a small talk about animal anatomy.
Oh, we don't need to have that talk. I've butchered plenty of animals in my time. I know how to get all the proper cuts.
That actually makes me feel like we need to have this talk more that you said that. Because that just means you've been possibly wrong for a long... I'm done. We're moving on.
I can show you how to get the light meats, the dark meats, the thigh. I can even show you how to cut out the tongue.
I actually know most of those.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Whatever. Yes, that's what I was worried about.
So
Very
does
well.
he
Very
agree to
well.
pay Scab?
Very
Okay.
well.
And Scab does eat a lot.
I don't know what you sure
Drink a lot now, too.
cat may be, but if you insist.
It's gonna help pay for all the litter.
So are we in agreement?
I believe you.
Something like that.
So Gall finishes the meeting by issuing you your writs of authority and requesting that once you've completed your investigation, if you were ready to deliver the report, to come back here and arrange a meeting with Miss Ellie. She'll contact me. Though please avoid meeting me at the watch station. He then excuses himself and leaves, shaking Muncie's hand outside before departing. When y'all are ready to head to the asylum, the inspector accompanies you back to the dock, where the Rhyme Constable Eckers waits with the riverboat. The journey to the asylum is relatively swift and direct, along a canal that stretches from the junctions just further along the passage from the birdcage straight to the asylum pool. Along the way, you're struck by honestly some of the beauty and detail of the architecture, notwithstanding the fact that it's all partially sunken, covered in moss, and leaning at haphazard angles, usually onto other nearby buildings. Among the structures, walkways of corroded iron and wood have been erected so that people can climb and walk from building to building over the ubiquitous canals, and nary a soul street is in sight. The number of boatmen in colorful striped attire who sing emotionally expressive songs in loud melodic voices as they pole gondolas every which way, transporting people around the district, seem nearly matched in number by the city watch in kayaks, whose occupants watch the crowds with evaluating eyes. You also, along the way, smell raw stink of sewage that occasionally assails your nostrils, along with catching sight of patches of excrement that float on the surface of the canal. And you also occasionally catch a strange scent that makes you kind of feel momentarily dizzy and disoriented, as though momentarily gripped by seasickness. It compels you to kind of steady yourself on the boat railings, or else you topple into the black waters. Most of all, you notice a susurrus of sound, even beneath the songs of the boatmen and the ubiquitous bird calls and the grunts and sighs of the running of the riverboat paddlers. It slowly rises in volume as you approach the foreboding 60-foot high walls of your destination. As you get closer, you're kind of finally able to discern that the susurrus is seemingly endless, almost like a composite scream. A scream of human anguish and suffering from many voices overlapping one another in a cacophony that issues from within the asylum. Very unsettling, and as you arrive, the boat hits the dock with a bump. And Muncie says, "Well, we're here." He's like, "I don't envy you heading into that place. I've heard it's a living hell, where the inmates prey upon each other and the guards barely keep it underhand. But don't forget, it's where nobles and their own are also sent. It's frowned upon to kill nobles, and doing so usually has dire consequences. Any murderous man in there may have connections that will get your neck stretched if you put him down. If you want my advice, whatever you're going to do in there, I don't want to know what it is. But keep your heads down, get the job done, and get out as fast as you can." And with that, we'll end off for tonight, since I know Nick talked about being a bit tired, and I'm kind of feeling it kick my ass myself after I took some medicine. So we will pick up next time with y'all standing on the docks of the asylum.
Yay.
Is Inspector Muncie's name like first name Hogan, last name Muncie?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. When you first mentioned him, it was like Inspector Hogan Muncie. I'm like, wait.
Oh, I spoke too fast. Yes, Hogan Muncie.
Got it.
So that's where we are with that.
This
You've
is
got
gonna-
Count Grishnek researching a way to bring Cleo back, maybe. Something that should be fun and risky. And in the meantime, we're investigating an asylum. What could go wrong there?
Yay.
Things
Don't
always work
worry.
out in these types of settings at insane asylums.
Mhm.
Nothing bad ever happens.
Of course not.
Y'all are here like, we run this place now.
I sent a message to Scott, but then he disconnected before it could get sent. My message said,
what?
yeah, I sent a message to you. It said, I hope we get to put down a prison riot and we get to make them all our bitches.
I hope we get to start a prison riot.
And make them all our bitches.
Yeah.
Cool. So thank you, everybody who hung out with us. Thanks for the raids and the follows. It's very appreciated. Anybody wants to help support by throwing a like or a sub on the YouTube channel so that can grow would be highly appreciated as well. And I guess we'll be back Tuesday night, midnight, or 11:30ish for Kelsto's game. And then Friday and back here again next weekend. So have a great weekend the rest of your time, and thanks for hanging out. Peace.
Have a good one.
Internet.
Night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.